So I received a video the other day from a friend, a close friend, someone who I trust. Um, and this is such a crap situation. It never needed to go this far. It never did. People tried to deal with this privately, like it could have been, but they didn't want to listen to reason. They didn't want to hear our questions. They just wanted us to believe them. And that's it. And I'm sorry, that's a red flag. That is a massive red flag. I'm not just going to take your word for it when the questions that I'm asking you are making you defensive and making you act all weird, making you block the person asking that question. Sorry, that is pretty sus. Okay? That doesn't fly. So, yeah, is there a little bit of a bias because I believe this person as my friend? You could say that, right? But it also goes on to the same point is I've spent a lot of time listening to this person, and I can read them pretty well. And I know when they're lying to me, and I know when they're being honest, right? She's not being dishonest. Not only that, the logic doesn't fit in. It just doesn't fit in. Motive doesn't match, doesn't exist. Sorry, there's one that's proposed, but it's ridiculous. That will be explained later. Anyway, this whole situation is that you have to ask yourself, or ask others that know the information about what had happened during the breakup. Why was Suit reaching out to people that knew her or were talking to her to tell his side immediately when they weren't asking for it? When they didn't really know what was going on or care? Well, sorry, maybe not care. It's they didn't want to meddle and get in between that stuff because that's messy. You don't mess around with the breakups between people. That's just it's not a good idea. So, why is he trying to tell his side of the story? Well, he's trying to counter what she may have to say. What does she have to say? What is so damning? Because all I could see, and not just me, was somebody trying to get their story out there first, get in front of something. Okay. And then it comes down to the later, the ridiculous stuff, the crap with the, oh, I'm doxxed now, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that was pretty convenient because now you're going hardcore and ridiculously overboard on this person is now in a group with a lot of people that apparently don't like you. So whatever she could have to say to them, you don't want them to hear, whether it's true or not. It doesn't matter, right? But you don't want them to hear it. And then now she has to be branded as a doxer, a liar, crazy, and all that stuff like that. Which all that stuff before, like I said, didn't add up to the situation. And there were questions there that he didn't want to answer at all, and he would be more than willing to block you rather than even address any of it because you just didn't believe him. Okay? That's pretty weird. So, this situation comes into the people that have had the chance to listen and hear her speak, believe her. Not because she's crying or playing the woman card or offering boobies, webcam shows, whatever. It's because they're just listening to her talk. And that question of why were you so interested, Mr. Suit, to silence her, to discredit her, and to get your narrative out to all the people in your little circle and expunge anyone else who's had contact or unclean with her, it's going to be pretty apparent. It's a long video. It's a long conversation she had. And guess what? Her story hasn't changed one fucking bit. How about yours?
Why would I dox you and put your fucking family in danger? Why would I do that when I got your dick pic? Wouldn't that be more humiliating? And wouldn't that be more true to nature of a vindictive, jealous ex who's just so enraged by the fact that you're now with the woman that she said you were flirting with? Wouldn't that be more along the lines of what a kind of thing that kind of a woman would do? That she kept trying to sneak into the 18 plus and was getting scolded by the mods. And then this was all before, this was on the other Discord that got shut down because he streamed that Christchurch shooting. And I think that's when he also broke up with whatever the chick that he was dating before me. And that's why it got reported and shut down. And he had to start a new Discord. And he'd only had that Discord for like 6 months or something. I don't know. It was a newer Discord. It wasn't the one that Faith was in. Unless she snuck back in there. It was one of the few times that he would like spoke up about her because I was like, uh, he's like, did you hear about the sex tape? And I was like, yeah, I heard about it. He's like, you want to see it? I already got it. And I was like, damn, already? He's like, well, yeah, ho, ho, ho. And like in my head, I was like, didn't you tell me about how you had to, okay, whatever. It's just lots of little things like that because there is a mentality amongst some men that women are most fertile and at the peak of genetic whatever at a certain age range. And so that's how they excuse looking at younger people. He would never act on it, but I don't know. He was just always, whatever. He was always very, I mean, he used to talk about Kaylee's Adorkable's boobs all the time. I mean, it's a very open server in that form. Like that Witchy Things chick was showing her, I mean, I think I still have the pictures from her, like teasers for her OnlyFans that she was advertising. But then she left the server and then she came back and she didn't really advertise it because I think some of the other mods didn't like it. But that's just kind of the environment. So it's a very, you can be sexually charged there. So it's not abnormal for it to be that way. Like there's the rooms that everybody's accepted into, and then there's the private rooms, right? That are part of that server or like part of whatever the app is. But they're like, you've been vetted, so you're allowed to go into that section. And so I think that people like Faith are able to get into those kind of places because they're quite charming. And I don't know. I didn't know Faith. I never saw Faith. I don't know why he would. I think he let her in there because he let anybody. And he always makes that a point. Anybody's welcome. Minors are welcome, but you have to, they are openly marked. So if, let's say, someone was speaking in the chat and one of the mods noticed that the person who's marked as a minor looks to be online, they would be more, diligent about what's in the general chat or tell someone to go to the closed chat that's not for 18 under people, which that happened a couple times. But for the most part, everybody just acted the way they wanted to because everybody was a confirmed over 18. I think there was one kid in there that was somebody's son, but that was because he had cancer or some shit, supposedly. After that fucking Robert shit, I don't know that I believe any of it. It's weird. I don't know why I wasn't around. I think that was also maybe after Trez left, because that was the thing that Trez had issue with, is that the GoFundMe for this thing was from a younger fan. I don't think she was underage. I just think she was young and well-liked. Trez was a big part of his world, that she was really close with him, and the GoFundMe set up by some chick named Sammy, that Trez Suit says that he thinks Trez was just kind of jealous of this girl. He doesn't know why, but he just thinks that's where it stemmed from, and so she didn't really like this girl who was not underage but younger. and was mad at Suit because she said that it was grifting, or it was like, and he's like, no, it wasn't. It was a gift from fans or some shit. And so that was her ultimatum, to give it back, or else she takes her money and her best friend, who also gave him money, and leaves. And that's when his whole stance on, you don't tell me who I can and cannot have as my fans. You don't tell me who I can and can't have give me money. And she's like, okay, sayonara. You take out $200. Go bye-bye. She went to COG. And she still sticks up for him. She was sticking up for him through, calling me horrible stuff. She didn't even know me. I think she came around once or twice. That was the other thing. I think that Suit has a very close relationship with a lot of strong females. I don't know. All I know is I didn't fucking dox him. He needs to get over that shit. I think that he definitely shared it with other people. I don't have the proof of that because his videos are very long. And I don't remember exactly where. I mean, this is a year ago. But I remember him speaking about how he tried to help Queen through her mental stuff. This is before she, flipped out. He was really trying to help her, and then she turned it around and exposed about his. And that's what set everybody off, too, was that Queen was sharing his, this is what I went through story to the public. And I remember him speaking about that, but I remember him talking about how he was trying to find different ways of telling her, concentrate on your kid, or maybe go take some school. This is what I'm doing to help with my mental and my dark place that I was just in a little bit ago. I don't have the willpower to go through those hundreds of hours that I would have to go through. And I think that he showed people on his streams as well last summer. I remember him showing something. I can't remember what it was, though. One of the things, somebody had to message him and say, hey, dude, you can see your information on that. You know that, right? He's like, oh, thanks. Edited it out. Did my phone fuck up? Oh, okay. Sorry. Is it, though? I'm trying to play the video game so I don't fucking... Oxygen not included. I'm doing horrible. I have 14 people, and my area is way too... I still haven't figured out how to pipe gases from one place to another yet. I'm just kind of trying to keep building up so all the hydrogen just floats to the top. So stupid. It's done. I'm silly. I'm scared. Okay, so how sorry, it's super fucking hot. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Are you just gonna? Oh, should we put up just a picture, but the bad one that he did of me, with my head all like stretched out, so my forehead's even bigger than normal. I think it's in one of the Synth ones. Yeah, it's when I was jealous of Lexi. He had me bouncing on the side. I was like, oh. Look at my forehead. He, the first one I think he used just the regular picture, and then it was one of the other ones that somebody morphed it for him. I'm sure, like Professor or somebody like that. Morningstar does that kind of stuff too. Oh man, it was so fun the other day. Oh, that was so cold on the part of my skin that's not covered with cloth. I have ice packs on my back to help keep me cool. One fell and it's really cold. He did call me evil. That is so crazy. I can't believe it. Just... And then he's gonna sit there and be like, no one calls you evil. What the fuck are you on about, Chief? Just, and then see, the thing is I get all wound up, and I think it's almost like I want to do a response to his, like how he picks through somebody's video and be like, oh, pause it here. This is false. Blah 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 blah. Say the words.
So, we got someone simping for a doxer. How you doing, Simp
Bad
Juice?
doxer.
Never thought I'd have to fucking call you out, mate. But it is what it is, isn't it? What do you expect from me, eh? We'll go down this road, but I always give people a chance. Because you're simping for your pay pig, Hypa. Hypa Bumfuzzy. Someone that I was close to at one stage. We've got all the logs on that too. If we have to go down this road, Hyper, to show how a woman's scorn by jealousy of retro reviews. If we have to go down this road and show you as a complete fucking utter lying cunt and expose it all, we certainly will. We have 100% proof. A particular file.
Oh yeah, pause that. Nyx is slimy. She does fucking go and stab people in the back, do whatever she needs to do in order to cover up her shit. So that's another person that, dude. Yeah. I mean, this is all very. It's less simple than he likes to try to make it seem. He likes to try to make it seem like there's no other people influencing him or whispering in his ear or whispering in mine, but then only when it's convenient. So like if it's good for his story, he'll say someone must have been talking to me. No, because that's all you did for months was bitch about how I talk shit about you. So now how is it turned around? That's it. Oh, I must have just been stupidly influenced by Righty? Like, no. And if Righty would show the DMs, he would see that I fucking rejected whenever Righty said something. He's like, I don't like the way she treats you. Because Righty had been gone for a bit, and then he came back or something. I can't even remember. Let me think. Yeah, he had gotten upset with somebody, I can't remember who, and I had thought that they went too far, and then he was corrected by saying, like, you're overreacting or taking sides, and then he just kind of left the community, and then he came back to the community, but I think that he was, like, maybe working with somebody at that point, because for a while he was, like, in love with Nyx, and for a while, you know, I mean, Friday is ever the charmer. So sorry. That little blip where I said that Nyx would be the slimy one to, I mean, that's all who I could think of, because I couldn't, even at that point when I wrote that, Robert wasn't known as Robert. Robert was still Lexi, this ultra trusted, like, amazing supporter that's in the know and all the things, and such a good person to every single person there, never does a thing wrong, blah, blah, blah. So, like, why would that cross my mind to think of anybody that was that kind of level? There was more than just Lexi, aka Robert. I mean, he has a lot of quality fucking people around him. He's got Mia, he's got fucking Ferret, he's got a bunch of people. He's got fucking Arius. I mean, he's got good people around him. So there was no reason in my mind, or to doubt what the shit that he had been filling it with for months, that Retro was an amazing person and was nothing but supportive, and I was overreacting, and it was all jokes, that all the flirting was jokes. It was to teach me a lesson. So could be a bit of pushed it, like that could be a possibly valid argument, that all the attention and to piss me off more because I wasn't reacting to the other females I saw him being flirtatious with after we split. Like, that one would get a reaction from me, maybe, and maybe it was just all fake to begin with, but then he really did like her, or he was always crushing on her anyway. I mean, I don't know, because something felt off with Retro right from the beginning. But I thought it was just because Retro was a type of female that I just don't really get along with too much. Not that they're bad people, it's just not the kind of female I get along with or want to be around all the time. But Sue had told me, you need to get in good with all of my admin. Now, Lexi wasn't an admin, but she was basically best buddies, or presented that. Best buddies with all the admin, and was super close with Suit, and made sure that was always brought to the forefront. Because if you go back through the streams, like, even when he was with me, Lexi was always mentioned. Retro was always mentioned. There were very few other females. Britt would be mentioned, but only when Britt came on, or Britt showed up. But Lexi was always mentioned. Lexi was always looked out for, that kind of thing. And so obviously this is a very special person to him, and I did try to be friends with her, and then I just couldn't fucking do it because the whole Tom thing happened, and Lexi didn't say shit to me about Tom being aggressive or mean or anything like that, which, okay, we weren't really close, but we weren't unfriendly at that point. And I had been trying to get Tommy to flirt with her so that he would fucking stop trying to figure out who I was with, because at that point, he called me his e-girlfriend, but I wasn't public knowledge. I still talked to Lexi, but I didn't make an active effort anymore. And I just avoided the server more and more when she was around. So I was just kind of drawn back from it, but I was still speaking with her. And then Falcon told me how he liked her, and then it just clicked in. I was like, that's why you've been so happy these past couple months? He's like, yeah. I was like, that's why you sing? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my god, yeah, I'm a fucking retard for love shit, right? So I was like, oh, barely. He's like, yeah, but then, she's been weird lately. And I was like, what do you mean? And then he just told me the story of how she kind of was really gung-ho, and then just drew back, and then started playing that whole, oh, I'll talk to you later, I gotta go do this busy thing that will take me away from the computer, but then proceeds to be on the computer. And he's a fucking computer nerd, so he's gonna notice those things. Especially if he's friends with her on Steam or whatever. He had some way of knowing that she was active. He was active, but he didn't know he was a he. Anyway, so then when Falcon told me that, I was like, I'm fucking done with this bitch. And I cold shouldered her, and didn't really get a chance to cold shoulder her, because I think that she knew that Falcon had spoken to me, because out of the blue, Lexi's in my DMs. Here's Retro. Oh, what? Hey, just checking on you. God damn it, I don't have the fucking DMs anymore. I wish I did. Something, and I just basically was like, listen, you don't need to bother in here. I'll be friends with you in public, but I don't want to be friends with you. You don't need to talk to me in DMs. And then she went off on me. I don't know what I ever did to you. And if that's the way that you and Falcon want it, then fine. And she blocked me. And I was like, oh, bitch, I didn't even say anything about Falcon, but I guess you knew why I was pissed at you, because she knew that Falcon was like one of my babies. That was like one of my... He's a special one. You don't hurt him. So anyway, so then I would that, and then that is why Retro got blocked. Because I did make an effort. And then after that, it was just sus. Everything after that and the behavior that that person presented, it was just sus, 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 sus. And it just reaffirmed for me everything. And then Suit going along with it just made me feel 10 times shittier. Because you're just like basically saying to me that you like this in a woman as opposed to what I am. And then call me crazy when your behavior is showing that, but then you're telling me that I'm crazy.
And the log files for it. Don't fuck with me. Own your shit. Admit it. You were jealous. You
Got the
thought you'd
log
be able to
files.
dox a suit and gave my information to Queen of Spade. You thought
Nope.
that you might be able to hide behind the mighty fucking antelope ear juice. I don't give a flying
No,
fuck.
stop,
who you are.
pause. Hide behind who? Hide behind who? I didn't hide behind anybody. I fucking went and tried to hide. I tried to be respectful. I tried to not let you chase me away because I knew that I had done nothing fucking wrong. That just because you broke up with me, I was still allowed to be around. It's okay for me to be around. And then when you get doxxed, for you to automatically assume that I would fucking do something like that, would endanger your family, is the stupid. It clearly shows that you didn't know shit about me, that you never attempted to, or you thought that you knew, and then because you are so upset that I am not back crying, oh, I miss you so much, can't I come back into your toxic community and be like mocked and harassed some more, please? Oh, please, Sue. Fuck off, man. That shit's... And then nobody stood up for me. Not that they wouldn't. It makes me mad that he accuses me of like I went around like Queen does, or like how Oblex does, or Nyx does, and cries to other creators about, oh, this thing, this person, blah blah. Like I didn't do that. And why would he automatically assume the garbage that he assumed? Because he does that kind of stuff? Because that's how he is? Suit went off the ear juice because he did not like that Hypa was given a wrench. He didn't like seeing that Hypa wasn't being mocked in every place that he had connections in. And wherever Suit is, he feels like because of his creator status, that whatever his version is should be believed over some plebe, some noob, some regular person, especially a crazy ex. A crazy ex that was jealous of, yes, a fictional thing, a completely fucking fictional thing. And now I see that Lexi was just gaslighting me the whole time and finding enjoyment in it, thinking that it was funny to see, to openly in a general discord of a creator tell that creator's girlfriend, let her be jealous. And even more disgusting, how disgusting are you, Lexi? How many girls only servers did you get invited to? How many girls opened up to you and confided in you as a female about female things? Like, I wonder how many female friends got you invited to all girl servers where everybody was like sharing their pictures, their sexy stuff. And there you were, a dude, just getting to see it all because, you're a girl. It was fine. That's pretty disgusting, but that person is a good person? That's a good person that sits there and pretends for years and never opens up to anybody about it. So that's the other thing. So if Robert tries to say, oh, I've always wanted to be a female and I was never able to be accepted except in this way, whatever. I think that there was a bit of, there was a stream that Bells of Nevermore did, and Retro tried to explain it, that Retro did care for people, really did care for people, and so all of the things that they said that were nice were for real. All of the things that they did were for real, but it wasn't, they just weren't able to be themselves. And so when Suit was hurting because of the cruelness of me, of not being happy around watching the two of them and being mocked for it, for my uncomfortableness, being told that I'm crazy, that there was never anything sexual at all. And yet here's Suit talking about how fucking beautiful and sexy she is, this fictional person. But it wasn't real, right? It was all a joke, I was told. And I need to get over it and just deal with it and become best buddies. I was told that at one point, to be best buddies with Retro.
Because you're going to make Earjuice look stupid. Earjuice is already doing that by lying about what I've done, and we will go through, and I don't normally drop DMs, but if we have to go through all the fucking DMs, you know I fucking will. By now, you all should know how fucking deep I will fucking go to expose bullshit. All I ask to stop this is you own your shit. Say, yep, I was jealous. I gave your details to Queen of Spade. The file that was given to me and only me, I passed on to Queen of Spade.
No.
I lied to you.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I never fucking talked to Queen of Spade besides the last 2 weeks she was in Suit's server. And then the bitch blocked me. And then I was fine with that. And then while she harassed Suit for those first few months we were together, and I wanted to rage. Oh, I wanted to rage at that bitch. I wanted to tell her how dumb she was. And I was told to be quiet. Just be quiet. Don't say anything. He exposed the craziness that was me. Yeah, because I was 100% wound up, fucking completely crazy from the game that you and Lexi were playing. The fun little, let's make Hypa freak out so that we can teach her a lesson, and how wrong she was that we aren't attracted to each other. Months down the road, attracted to each other, making a whole video and thinking that I was mad about the collage. I wasn't mad. Was I sad? Yeah. Of course I was, because it was just more evidence about how I wasn't good enough. That I wasn't enough. But here's Lexi, she's enough. And then what? What happened? Oh. Lexi isn't really Lexi. So Lexi does a giant betrayal. And you have just conjecture. Show me where it's my communication with Queen that gave information. It wasn't. I didn't have your stupid fucking file. I didn't send it to fucking Queen. I don't talk to her. She's fucking blocked. So, like, please tell me where it shows that it was me. You showing a DM that shows you sending the PDF file 8 hours before you break up with me. Also, do you forget to, you don't tell everybody that shit either. And then within a week and a half, 2 weeks of you breaking, I had deleted that Discord. I had no fucking access to it. And then you didn't believe that. You thought I still had access to that. And I had no way of fucking proving that. No way. So you just got to build your fucking narrative however the fuck you wanted to build it.
Tried to
I'm
play the
getting so
woman card
mad.
in crocodile tears. If not, c'est la vie.
Mm-hmm.
Suit yourself.
Did I? Did I cry? Can some? I would really really love it. I would love for all of those uh, crocodile tears that I did to be shown. Show me where I whined about you publicly. Show me where I went and cried on Twitter, cried on other platforms, cried in other fucking platforms and fucking panels and shit like that. No, didn't happen. Because I just wanted to fucking go to the background, let you fucking do your thing. Go have fun with whoever it is that you want to have fun with. Because I'm over it. Fucking stupid. I didn't fucking dox you. We need Queen to come forward and show where it comes from. But even then, because that's just not going to work for Suit's narrative, they're going to have some explanation for how it still came from me because I was the only one he showed it to. Ugh. Even though, whatever, dude. It's. And then the amount of manipulation that he did of the people around him and guilt tripping, even though he plays like he doesn't do that. But he does make his people basically have a choice.
Earjuice decided to spurg out publicly with lies about me. When did I say?
Oh, that's right! I totally forgot!
When did I say any
God,
of you
Suit, you're
were
so...
working recently?
Oh.
Stir the pot a little.
Sir,
Because
you
Earjuice
are...
decided to...
You, like, the fact that Suit freaks out that someone has spoken in their own Discord about a subject, and he's freaking out about it, that Earjuice dared to say something. How dare Earjuice speak in his own server about what? Let's read this then, Suit. Let's read this. Hey guys, Suit can't take any banter. What? Is that wrong though, Suit? I mean, it seems like anybody that kind of ribs at you in an unapproved Suit way, you fucking flip out. Anybody that fucking has anything at back in the day, back last summer, anybody that kind of spoke against must be talking to Queen of Spades. Oh, you must be talking to Queen of Spades. Queen is fucking crazy. Yes, 100%. She is very easily wound up, riled up. Let's see, what else does this say? This horrible, horrible message that Earjuice put on his Discord. What else does it say? I was only the mole, but most of the info was compiled by Stretch. Mwahahaha! Yeah, the person that had absolutely zero fuck all to do with the shit. Suit has no concept of fucking jokes. He is gonna say to everybody else that they don't understand him whenever he's talking in his joking manner, that you just don't get his jokes. And yet Suit continuously fucking refuses to find jokes in other people's statements. Because where is Stretch? Where was Stretch through all of this? Why? You mad because Stretch publicly told you something about your fishy situation you were in? So why does he not get a bunch of accusations with no evidence as well? My God. I told him for months for Suit to stop coming into my DMs without a shred of evidence, saying stuff is going on. Because that is another thing that Suit did. Thinking that I'm talking trash about him everywhere. That must be why Hypa is in Earjuice's server. Because she wants to talk shit. She wants to make Suit's life a living hell. That's why she became a Patreon. That's why Morningstar had to become a Patreon. Because what if Hypa got access to something that the regular non-Patreon people didn't get access to? So, good old Morningstar. With that money, 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 money. And she was in Stretch's DM. Trying to be friendly. Trying to find out shit. Like, and then it got to the point where Stretch got uncomfortable, and I didn't even know that he and Morningstar had a DM, like just talking, just casual back and forth, just kind of like, hey, how are you? Or what does this mean? I don't understand what's happening in chat right now. And then he would explain. Just odd, you know. But then she started asking him questions about his real life and stuff like that. And he got weirded out, and he was like, why is she asking me this stuff? I was like, I don't know, but that's shady. And the emotionally abusing females. So I wouldn't just say that it's quote unquote females, but he definitely does have way more comfort level being aggressive, flinging his weight around with females as opposed to males, unless the male is less than him in the hierarchy. The male's less than him in the hierarchy. He has no problem like treating them however he wants. It felt like when you're in high school and something fucking super embarrassing has happened and you don't think everybody knows, but suddenly everybody's behavior changes. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? Nothing's different, but everything's different. I mean, I didn't feel abused in the sense of like, they were like when you go to like a troll server and people are just ripping you apart. Like it wasn't like that. It was like Mean Girls type of shit. Like even though Suit is a male and he has a server and he runs it as a male, but it's basically like a fucking henhouse. It's very petty and gossipy and cliquey.
Where we can go through your DMs with me if you want. I'm happy to do that, and I will bring up all of Hypa's shit, all the emails, and expose it all. If you want to go down that road. Bunch of fucking accusations and bullshit. Lying cunt. Oh, really? You were the mole. You were the mole in my Discord that I gave you access to every fucking room.
He's so stupid. Because Suit doesn't see jokes unless he's made them. And then he'll make sure to tell them quite a few times, just in case you didn't get it the first time. Well, he's got evidence of me, what, spurging? Yeah, he's gonna show a female fucking out of her mind because she's been talking about how fucking shady a person is, then told that said person isn't shady, and then also getting slapped down by this person because I'm making fun of Toxic Angel in a live chat. Oh, my bad. Okay. Right on. Sure. And then Suit just doesn't want to talk to me about it, and then we proceed to have a fight. And then he breaks up with me. Fine. Whatever. Where the fuck is it going to be like, oh, you must be a rational person from now on? Like, yeah, I'm sure there are people, but guess what? I'm damaged. You said yourself. You told everybody. You showed everybody how fucked up and gross I am, how evil I am. And then you're going to sit there and be like, I got evidence that this bitch was all wound up and crazy because of the fucking game me and Lexi were playing with her to rile her up. But it's just jokes. They were jokes. You can't get jokes. Suit doesn't get jokes. Play.
To show that I'm not going off about Hypa. Go on, come on, bring that info. Bring that info that is compiled by a so-called Stretch. Oh, really? Really? You meant to say months ago, not 4 months. Months ago, when she was emailing me, and I warned you about this. You didn't want the evidence. Go on, let's go through it now. Dare you? I fucking dare you to let me go through your DMs, rip you a fucking part, exposing you and fucking Hypa with the emails. I fucking dare you, lying cunt. Of course, that's not what you're seeing. You're seeing the good Hypa, The Hypa I fell in love with. She has an exceptionally good side to her, but she also knows how to use the woman card and use those crocodile tears, oh boy, and you're falling for it all. Hook, line and sinker. Go on. Let's continue this. I dare you to. I dare both of you to continue this. Hey, dickhead. I had dropped it. I'd moved on. I was with Lexi. And then I got doxxed. You fucking muppet. And when I got doxxed, I told you about it. I couldn't leave it alone. It was left alone. And then a certain fucking jealous cunt found out that I am now with the very person that she was jealous of. And then she doxed me. If anything's going to get wacky, it'll be because
why would I dox you? Why would I dox you and put your fucking family in danger? Why would I do that when I got your dick pic? Wouldn't that be more humiliating? And wouldn't that be more true to nature of a vindictive, jealous ex who's just so enraged by the fact that you're now with the woman that she said you were flirting with? Wouldn't that be more along the lines of what a kind of thing that kind of a woman would do? Or would she take some random thing that you've probably shown to multiple people? Let's see all of your DMs with all of your people and go through them all. Even the girls that are no longer part of your server because they come and go fast, don't they? Where's some of those girls from last summer, eh?
You can't stretch or reply and start shit that will make me have to bring out all those logs and embarrass the fuck out of her, as well as dig into your past.
Embarrass me.
So perfect.
Dude, I'm already fucking embarrassed. Do you think that I don't get shit every time I fucking walk into a server where there's some trolls and they're like, oh, hey, you got fucking cucked by a fucking sim character? Damn, you got cucked by a dude. It wasn't even a real female. You got replaced. You think that isn't embarrassing? The fuck, dude?
Publicly, besides lies and bullshit that you're believing. Right, interesting. I wonder how else we could have approached this, Mr. Earjuice. Maybe privately? In DMs? Like I was trying to? Fucking idiot.
Suit wanted Earjuice to come to him and go, Earjuice, what horrible thing has this evil woman done to you? So that Suit could go, EJ, she was a jealous cunt. She did this and this. Let me show you. He didn't want to hear anything but support. He didn't want any questions. He just wanted support. But I was the one going around crying and whining, even though he was the one doing that exact thing. How many times I'd like all the people to come forward after Sue broke up with me. All of the people to come forward that I cried crocodile tears to. Them personally, which is what he's claiming that I do. How many people did I do that? Because he's claiming like I went around doing it to everybody. And I didn't do it to Earjuice at all. It just sucks that that was one of the few places that was kind of fun to be around, and it was okay for me to be there. Earjuice comes to Suit in private and addresses something in private, and Suit blows him off. Just pure and simple. And then when the shit happens that basically Earjuice was saying, Suit somehow surprised or appalled that it happened. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Stupid. Suit likes to teach people lessons. Definitely. He likes to And he was trying to teach me a lesson that my jealousy would end up pushing him away. And it did. But it didn't even need to be there in the first place. It could have been addressed. I tried to address it. There were a number of phone calls. Your suit saying, so I said she can go do what she wants. Go for gold. I'll clean up the mess like I always have. Yuju says, so your new strategy is to side with the other chick and publicly belittle her. Suit says, if that'll make her wake up and see what she's doing. If she wants to push me away, go ahead. Get into it with Retro publicly and make yourself look like a jealous fucktard. Why was I getting into it with Retro to begin with? Because Retro said, let her be jealous. And why did Retro say that? Because you and Retro had decided to play this little game to prove to me how you guys weren't really attracted to each other, that you were just close friends. It said I love you, and we're flirty all the time, and you proudly wore the title of side hoe in his server 30 seconds after he had just made me Mrs. Suit in front of everybody. And as soon as he made me Mrs. Suit, there was Retro. Oh, congratulations, blah blah blah, I'm so happy for you, but just know, Suit, I'll always be your side hoe. And then what happened? Retro's name changed in the server to side hoe. Weird. And we're proud of it. And that was somehow supposed to, what? I was supposed to be like, oh, ha ha ha, what funny joke. What a funny joke. It's just jokes, you guys. Oh, this was while he was streaming.
Suit yourself.
Suit yourself,
And
queer.
he said that Righty broke us up. And I freaked out and I started talking in the chat. I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. Are you seriously trying to blame it? It just magically happened. Like Righty came out of Righty had nothing to do with it. Righty barely spoke to me for months before that, for like a month before that, because he wasn't really around or in the server. Oh, look at you accepting that you got catfished. You're such a bigger man, huh? All I wanted to do was just have a place where I could chill and be, and it was okay. But because Suit didn't like that and had to make sure that other people thought that I was a doxer or I was some kind of horrible person, just because I didn't like Lexi, I didn't want to be around it, I didn't want to see that, didn't want to learn that lesson. Find a fucking new way of teaching, because that fucking shit was cruel. Like, I have to sit there and watch you fucking be casually flirtatious with somebody that you fucking literally... Every little thing. Every little thing. Because he's not stupid. And I'm overly expressive, obviously. So and because he was my partner, I'm going to try to be as open as I can. But there were a number of times after I initially spoke of, and he's going to say I'm using my woman card, some of the stuff that happened in the past. No, it's not an excuse, it's an explanation. And I would try to say, okay, well, this is why I may have this kind of a reaction. And it just got to he didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it. And so it was, what's the point of trying to talk to him about a situation when he's not going to listen, or he doesn't want to listen? Or I was told, no, you don't need to tell me all that stuff. I don't need all the details. When I felt like I needed to tell him those details so that I felt that he would be able to better understand me if he had those details. But he didn't want to even hear them. And so I stopped trying. And then when I realized that I wasn't able to visually handle the interactions, I tried to just take myself out of the server as far as like that not being my only source of communication with people or my only source of socialness on Discord. Now, there were times when Morningstar would try to tell me that Lexi wasn't a bad person and all that, and I'm like, listen, no, this is how this bitch is, and I'm not gonna ever think differently. But now I see why she kind of stuck up for Lexi, because she obviously has kind of similar behavioral patterns.
Oh boy, let's go
I
through
wish that we
what's
had the one,
unfolded,
his like
shall we?
montage of
Now
love
remember,
to Lexi.
this all began with Hypa sending my docs to
Oh,
Queen of
super quiet.
Spade, then claiming she didn't, using the woman card, and crying to Earjuice. Earjuice, who blindly believed her every word.
Blindly believed her. I didn't go to Earjuice, and he didn't blindly believe anything. Like that's just this level of stupid. It's just such a stupid. I don't get it. He must think that I cried and cried and cried about how horrible. Like I opened up like that to Morningstar. Yeah. 100%, because I felt like it was okay. Plus, she has such a soothing voice.
Scared of Sue. I'm so scared of him. I'm so scared. Protect me, Earjuice. I'm paying you. Why? Because she's jealous. Jealous that I moved on to a better woman. Someone who isn't fucked in the head. I told you guys, there's a malicious side to this cunt, and you'll see it. I suppose this is one way to own that you're a doctor.
He moved on to someone, a better woman. False. Someone not fucked in the head. False. Oh, that's wrong. That's very, very wrong. It's not a woman. And they were fucked in the head. It's just very wrong.
Again. But how do we know it's her? Because we know it's her by the way she speaks and what she speaks about.
Oh my god!
No one else knows about. So what do we begin with? Of course, it's being Hypa and wanting dick. She's got to be speaking about dick and dick size. So in the very first tweet she makes, and this is a newly created account by her.
Whoa, stop. I haven't heard this. Can we... Wait, I don't remember this. What about dicks? Dude, okay. Any male that has talked to me in a sexual sense has 100% heard or read the words from my mouth. I don't like dick pics. I don't like them. I don't want to see them. Dicks don't photograph well. Sorry, dudes. It's very rare. And it's massively annoying to look at something that I want and not have it be physically in front of me. I'm not a dude. You guys are visual creatures. You can partake of visualness and actually get... That shit just pisses me off. So him trying... if he actually did know me, which is just more evidence that he actually didn't take time to listen or get to know me, he would have known right away that, oh, that's... Why would Hypa talk about dick? When did I... Where... I don't talk about dick. Or dick size, for that matter. What the fuck?
So, and we'll get into that because this is also a way that her and Earjuice is trying to set up that, oh, they created a fake account. No, we didn't, but nice try. So her first words are, hey Mark, just so you know, Earjuice is bigger than
and
you.
And that's funny.
Don't care.
The whole, I know that that's her because of the way she talks or whatever. I never used his name. I always called him Suit in front of his mother, in front of his father. I never actually used his real name because I was on his streams live so much, and I know that I'll be talking and rambling, and what if I accidentally used his real name? So I always made a point to never use his real name. Typing or talking, it's just something I didn't do. Made a conscious effort. So for also for me to supposedly use it, that would not be within my, what did they say, like, oh, that's totally her. It's the way that she writes stuff. I mean, did the tweet even have over 5 emojis? Because that's pretty much me, right? Like, express myself through emoji. Whenever that happened, I didn't know Polly. I didn't know Polly until the last 2 months ago, 3 months ago, was when like Polly, Swede, Mr. P, Roxo, Rocket, Punky. Those were the ones that talked to me. But I didn't know them like that when that was happening. So I had no clue all that. I was in the dark through all of that.
Really don't care what Ear Juice has got between his legs, Hyper. I know I'm happy with what I got. You were happy with what I have. So now she's got the dick reference out of the way because, she thinks she's clever, and she moves on with, I guess we found out who the better Australian is. Yeah, we did. Me. Because I haven't dragged you through the mud, a single mother of 3, I haven't dragged through the mud at all. Instead, I sat back and you, yourself, have confirmed that you are a doxer, hanging around a community with doxers. And oh my God, what a community. They are foul, vile, racist. We've got so many fucking screenshots of just how disgusting that community is. And I guess...
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Courtesy of Retro and Morningstar. And a couple of the others that I saw that were in there. Because that's how they do. And that's fine. But at least, nobody pretended. Everybody was pretty, way more real than Suits community.
You fit right in. Cry more about me doxing you.
Wait.
Cry? Well, that's the word you use. I use expose you as a doxer. And there we go. Why don't you come into the Discord and tell us about your fifis? Hyper, I'm not interested in you. You are a jealous cunt. You doxed me because I'm with another woman now. I told you to move on. Remember, folks, all of this...
A better woman.
Was private in Ear Juice's private DMs. He could have sorted this out privately. He didn't. He then turned on his friend, Skull Kid, and Skull Kid revealed that Hyper's having about 5 different online relationships with people there. Oof, dirty hoe. You do you, Hyper. You do you. I'm not interested. I don't want to know anything more about you. Fuck off. Move on. I'm happy with Lexi. And to finish her tweet off, she links to the docs of me, the same file that she sent to Queen of Spade. Bravo. It's, Ear Juice, now that she's no longer using the woman card and crying and has revealed herself as a doxer, are you going to stand by her and simp for her still? Of course you are. You are that kind of simp. Now this next one, it's gold because she doesn't even realise what she's done here is actually confirmed that it's her that's doing the tweet. Because no one else knew about this but Hyper.
It never was me.
So she says,
it's so funny watching this now. Like he even knows that it wasn't me. Like to watch this over, which is... It's so stupid. Oh, God. She confirmed it. You stupid cunt. That was supposed to be your clue that it wasn't Hypa, you tard. Sure. That's what I'm assuming. Because that's pretty fucking obvious.
Wait till you meet our dinnerware connection, Winky Face. Now, she thinks this is some kind of out or outing of me, some kind of terrible thing. I mean, we've been hearing how abusive I've been, right? From poor little Hyper crying in Ear Juice's ear. He's so terrible. Right. He's so abusive.
Where is it? Where did that happen? That Ear Juice did that talking about the crocodile tears that Hypa was talking about, the horrible abuse. There was none of that. There was that one uh, post that Earjuice made in his own server after Suit had been in Earjuice's DMs for months and months about Hypa. And then he finally is just like, I'm over it, I'm done. And then just banters at you to fucking like basically like, dude, just stop. But then, and then in that mentions abusive women. And then this is what you've now decided is that I must have been for months whining and crying as much as you had been whining and crying. Oh, it's so silly.
And her best threat after a dox is the dinnerware connection. What is the dinnerware connection, you might be wondering? Well, for someone who is such an abusive partner that she was so in love with, so caring, she wanted to know that I was eating well, which is fair enough. You know, you care for someone and they want to make sure that you're eating well. You go, okay, well, this is what I'm eating for dinner. Boom, snap, there we go. So I sent her pictures of what I was eating for dinner, decent meals. How is that a bad thing? How does that show me to be an abusive person? All it's done is confirm that you are the hyper bumfuzzle that is tweeting. Absolute fucking moron. So I replied, yeah, nah, I'll just block him like I do other doxers and morons. Move on,
I don't
Hyper. I'm with
understand.
Retro Reviews. Join my block list. Bye.
I don't understand why that proves. I still don't get it. Like, I know he probably just explained it in, you know, his Sutonian, but I don't get it. I don't understand. How does that prove that it's me? Because I didn't know till way after. Oh, Mark Davies, yeah. Yeah, they're just trying to fuck with him in any way, shape, or form. So it's not so
And
much
remember,
about the
this has got
racism
up.
thing. It's just trying to find something that could actually get him, like, shut down. Because that's how they low-key do. And then, but they don't do that. They don't dogpile. They don't go and harass. Suit makes very clear when he states it on his... He did it on the last stream. He's like, now I'm telling everybody, don't do this. But what you could do is this. And you're like, you serious? So...
And in this reply to Wayne, he calls Tan a baboon, so racial insults. He insults disability, people in wheelchairs, myself, and he also decides to attack another chick that has Down syndrome children. Talking about,
you know, you can send this. You know, you can send this
That's
to
true.
the like there's this British thing for online bullying. Technically, he's broken at least 6
Yeah,
rules.
they won't fucking do anything about that because I mean they
They
only
will.
uphold
They
it.
will because they
No, we've tried.
called somebody an ape.
We've tried.
No, we've tried.
Okay, we've got shitloads of women and we've gone down that road already. And it seems it also depends on your politics and which way you lean as to how hard they come down on people. So we've put the reports in. All you can do is keep doing the reports. But he's already done this. Instead of doing a reply, sorry, can I finish, Britt? I mean, I know I've got, I'm in your bra and stuff
Dude,
now.
he's always having to tell her. If he would also, though, not that, I mean, it's funny when she does interrupt him a lot, but he also doesn't fucking listen to his people. Obviously, if they have like a physical handicap, you're not going to be like, go run if they're in a wheelchair. He wouldn't be like that level, but he's not going to give them special treatment because they're in a wheelchair. Does that make sense? So that's how I think he views race as well. But he also calls himself black because his, heritage. But that's the thing, is he's just doing it just for that. He wants to harass this person for the harassment that they're doing. And so that's how he justifies it.
Alrighty. Due to lies and misinformation, I figured
Oh,
I'd
I
do this
don't
up
remember
and
this.
go through this with you. First up, we've got Queen of Spade. Who is
Sent
Queen of Spade?
only
If you
to
haven't met her,
Hypa.
lucky you. She is a perpetual liar and a perpetual victim. She will twist any narrative she can if it benefits her. Now, back in March, this is March 2020, when I was on okay grounds with Queen before she had her initial spurg out and showed her true colours, there was a Dropbox incident that happened because we were sharing information about RSN's Amber rape case, making a video on that, and she was helping me out on that. Now, Queen claims that she got the PDF from my Dropbox. Right. Well, how? Because the Dropbox didn't have any PDF files in it. The PDF file was created in September 2020 for Hypa and only sent to Hypa. If Queen's lie
But
isn't
that
a
doesn't
lie,
mean that that doesn't mean that you didn't also have that file before. Like, I don't understand what his point. Yeah, okay, you created a file for it to send to me, but then somehow it's not possible that your school stuff was, I don't know. See, because I don't know this shit. I don't know tech stuff. Which is another reason why it fucking just infuriates me that I supposedly did this shit.
just get one file from a supposed dump of all my TAFE work. You'd get multiple files. Show us them all. What's that? You can't? Because you're a lying cunt. Moving on. Mark Davies is the next person that people are claiming got the file and sent it to Queen of Spade. How? Mark Davies didn't know anything about my TAFE work. Didn't send him anything to do with my TAFE work. Mark Davies is a fake ghost adventurer that I called out, and he put through a legal takedown request through YouTube to get my information. Now, to fight a legal takedown request, you have to give your information, which I did. I identified as someone else living somewhere else, but I did give that information when I believed it to be true. After I gave that information, I re-identified as myself again, because it's, 2021, current year. So anyway, he doesn't have my info, and he doesn't have the PDF file. So that's debunked. Moving on. Hypa. PDF file created specifically in September 2020 for Hypa and sent only to Hypa. There is the deleted user
Why?
of
When you
Hypa's
were
account.
in the process of breaking up with me, you broke up with me September, what was it, 9th, 8th, 9th? It was the weekend of September 11th. And we had been fighting the week prior to that. So basically all of September, you're fighting with me and upset with me. And Bells is giving you a tarot reading that's telling you about two women in your life. One is a queen and one is a priestess. Or I can't even remember. One was a woman and one was a priestess. And one was going to be the death of you. And one was going to make your career flourish. And that was brought up. And it's still brought up. Bells still references that. She's like, I remember last time I did a live reading. I don't do live readings anymore. Last time I did. Most of it's come true. And then I guess within that, because then they stopped the reading because she said, I see a lot of bad things. And then from that reading, she talked about how there was danger because of the men previous in my life. AKA my exes, I guess, like baby daddies or whatever. I don't know. But that was on the private, that when she finished the reading for him, and he referenced it to me, and she referenced it all the time, and she still does. And that's what cracks me up, is that why would he send a PDF file when his bestie Bells is sitting there, who is also really good friends with Retro at that point as well. Like, Retro, I think, was one of the main reasons that she also got back in, that Bells came into Suit Server, because Retro had been trying to be friendly with Bells through all of the fight with Suit because Retro doesn't like fighting, and she thought Bells was a nice person. So yeah, why would you share a PDF file with your private information with a person that you already thought was a piece of shit? When you're basically breaking up with them. Because Skull Kid was the one that mentioned it, and then Suit references it. But then Skull Kid didn't talk about it till after he had that 2-hour conversation with Suit. So Skull Kid never talked to me, never asked my side, never was curious apparently about it. I don't know if that's because he thought Sork would be the person to tell him what my side was, because I was friends with Sork. I was. Sork was a lot of fun, and then I realized that Sork maybe had feelings for me, and so I addressed it. I addressed it softly at first, and then when it didn't seem like he was picking up on it, I had a long telephone voice-to-voice conversation with him about it the next day. And that fucking hurt, but I thought that it had been resolved, and I was like, the plan was because at that point he just was the only place that I was really, it was okay for me to be around and be in. And it was a lot of fun being on calls with Sork and Alive and 24, and I think Yoshi was on, or would be on. He would never talk. But then Sork wanted to, just have regular conversations, and that was fine with me. And then his creativity is really fun to listen to, and he's fun to make laugh. And then I was not interested in him like that. I was actually interested in somebody else. And all of this Suit shit had me very protective of liking that other person. So I didn't tell Sork that I was with somebody else. But I did tell him that I would never be with him. He's too young. He deserves to have someone his age that he gets to grow with and have babies with and all that other stuff. And I thought he understood that, which was why he had the harem joke and how Hypa was going to be running it. And he would send me pictures of all these beautiful girls, like, she's pretty, she's pretty. I was like, these are beautiful, yeah, she's really pretty. So, like, I thought he was on board with it. But then when Skull said 5 dudes, it was like, what the fuck? Where would that even come from? What 5 dudes? What 5 dudes? Unless just speaking with a man now makes that you're just fucking them, I guess. Which apparently some fucking cis men believe that, I guess. You speak to them and you must be fucking them, I guess. Well, that can't be true because he and Lexi were always talking as well. So if that's true, then he was in a relationship with Lexi. He can't have these double standards, this thing. And then Skull Kid to not even, like, I get listening to Suit and hearing out Suit's side. I wasn't mad that he did that. What hurt was that he then didn't ask what my side was. Skull Kid talked to Suit. He's already more of the inclination that Suit wanted everybody to kind of think about me anyway, that I'm this evil person. But that's the thing, like, I'd like it to be shown where I was evil. because the only thing that maybe you could say is what, that I was jealous too much. The only legit, you accused me of being a doxer, but have zero proof that it was me. All you can say is that you made a file and sent me a file within hours of breaking me up. Why would you send a file with that much information to a person that you're going to break up with? Unless you think that, oh, it was that maybe another lesson. Was it not a real breakup? You just wanted me to feel the coldness of not having you in my world. And I would learn my lesson and come back and lick Retro Review's boots in apology for hurting his feelings. Oh, yeah. Oh, he was like, yeah, I was told how I was simping and Cable really opened my eyes to it. And I did. I mean, that's all I did was I listened to her side. And then once I heard another side, I was like, oh, well, maybe. And then that's when Skull Kid wanted me to just admit to doxing Suit, even though I didn't dox Suit, and even told me it doesn't matter if you didn't dox him. Whether you did or didn't doesn't matter. It's just to make him shut up. But he wouldn't have shut up. That's the thing. He wouldn't have shut up.
Out saying, talking about my dinner, don't forget about the dinner and don't forget my meds and the file transfer that I sent to her. That file, not a screenshot, but the entire file magically appeared in Queen of Spades online Google Drive. If you can't put two and two together, I can't help you.
I can't help you. I just don't believe you. I'm sorry. I don't believe you that I was the only person you shared that with. I just don't believe you. I'm sorry.
This is my Lexi.
She is so pretty.
You just thinks
look at your
that
legs.
this is more than one person. Hypa is pissed off that I never did a collage of her pictures and displayed her in a video. Oh yeah, still jealous. Right now, I shit you not. As more and more people find the log files that I've been presenting and see through Hypa's bullshit, or Hypa turns on them, they're coming to me and apologising in my DMs. I told you, Weird Juice, and you are the victim here, the victim of Hypa's woman card. But it's not the first time you simped for Hypa, is it? I know, Weird Juice has pre-simped before me for Toxic Angel. Toxic Angel had a little issue, didn't he? And you wanted to simp for the women, for Hypa. Apologise to Hypa, and I will do a collaboration with you, Toxic Angel. But it began, the simping began way before, didn't it? Ear juice. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I've got this picture up here of Lexi just to annoy the fuck out of Hypa. That's it. Nothing more. Yeah.
So that's the kind of shit. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. That kind of low-key mental game shit. So what he's doing here, he would still do with me as a partner. And that was just... it's just not healthy. Wouldn't be healthy for him either. Like, for a person to tolerate that and allow it, it's just... So it's my fault too for just allowing it, staying around. Your juice was not simping for me. How? How is where? Because Ear Juice asked a gross person to not behave a certain way. Like, I don't even know that situation. I didn't even know that shit was happening because I wasn't fucking bitching about shit. So there's no like, it's just, it's stupid. How could Ear Juice simp if he didn't even know? I don't know, dude. That's just dumb. It's dumb. Then if that's simping, then you have done a lot of simping yourself as well then. Suit. because you do that for a lot of people as well. Go to someone that is being mean, or maybe not saying things nice about a person, like maybe they don't take care of their cats, and then you go and correct the person that is doing the wrong thing and saying the wrong thing about that friend of yours. So is that simping? Because then you're way bigger. You're way bigger. How much simping have you done for Bells in the past? I mean, do you feel better? I mean, is it making up for the fucking screaming that you did about her for 2 months last spring in 2020? I mean, you used to scream about this woman. Everybody laughed. You used to make horrible little videos about her. Used to threaten her cats because it wasn't real, it was just jokes. But you like to say to everybody that it was Queen gassing you up while you were doing that. But you state that you weren't talking to Queen after March. So then why did you continue to go after Bells if you didn't have a person gassing you up? I know.
And we will show you the logs, because this all began because Hypa claimed I was a bad person in the relationship with her. She's got no logs to prove this, just her word. I've got the logs. See, Hypa deleted her account, which means she can't get access to the logs, so she can only make shit up, and people like Earjuice will believe her. But I've got the log files, and we're going to go through some of it, and you'll see
Why
just
would I
how
make shit up with shit that I can't, like, look back? That's so stupid. That's like, are you just used to really stupid people? Because that's stupid. Why would I make shit up with stuff that I know you have access to? That's just, you're just used to stupid people. Oh, okay, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sue. I have been under the assumption that, you know, you don't assume that everybody's as retarded as some of the people you've had to deal with in the past. So that's my bad for not being more empathetic to your fifis and being more understanding to your thought process. I'll try to do better in the future.
Now, this is to show that Discord does keep a record of all deleted users. You may delete your account. It'll come up to us that have spoken to you in DMs as deleted user. So it's just a matter of finding Hypa out of all the deleted users. Now, remember, the claim from Earjuice is that Hypa told him I was a very bad boyfriend to her. No proof of this, but we're going to go through some proof here.
What? Okay, where did Earjuice say that Hypa told him? I'm pretty sure that in Righty shared those DMs, and one of the first things in it is Earjuice just saying, hey dude, like maybe you shouldn't scold your girlfriend in public type of thing. And that was in private, respectfully. And Earjuice blew him off. So again, just more narrative building from Suit.
Yeah, that the opposite is true. Ooh, some evil love hearts, some evil kisses. And there she is, I want it all in my mouth. And I'm like, I'm working on my TAFE module. You know, the PDF file I made for you was from my TAFE studies, so that I could send it to you so you could go over and have a look at the stuff because you want to be part of that. Oh, there's us doing some more TAFE study. And more, because that's what partners do when they're in what they believe is a good relationship. Not a bad one, a good one. Such an evil person that every morning would say good morning love to each other and send a selfie or two. Oh, such a bad relationship. Wasn't it, Hypa? And because I know we've got some Earjuice trolls in the Discord, I left some bait, you know, all in caps, about, you know, these fucking nudes or whatever it was. There's no nudes I'm going to share, idiots. What I'm going to share is proof that the relationship wasn't bad, but I knew that you'd
but
take
you
the
did
bait.
share. You did share a lewd picture and then deleted it and then dared whoever was in your Discord to say that it was sharing, like, what's the term that everybody used, like revenge porn or whatever. I can't remember. It was shown that you, I don't even know what the picture was because you must have deleted it that fast, but somebody must have been like, hey, you maybe shouldn't do that. And then that's why you had to snap back at your server. I dare anyone! Like, Jesus, dude, like, the fuck? You're sitting there bitching about me to your fucking Discord, throwing it out there to everybody, letting them know what a piece of shit I am, and all this other stuff. When I hadn't done that, I had kept it all in the quiet, and then when I left, you decided to share it all. You decided to blare it out about how I can't have kids, and I hope I find some man that's willing to take on the baggage that I have. Like, good luck, Hypa, trying to find a guy. Like, I know, dude. I'm a piece of shit. Share our DMs and bits of DMs. And I was the one always sending selfies, always initiating conversation. I was the one asking about his schooling because he wouldn't fucking talk to me about anything else. All this other shit and like all the queen stuff, I would just find out when everybody else in the server fucking found out. Like, it wasn't like he talked to me about where he's getting stuff or who's talking to him about or what he thinks is the next step or anything. There was no partnering in this. And because I knew, and because he made very plain in the very beginning that there's a lot of distrust, there's a lot of people that try to catfish me, and there's a lot of people that try to uh, get information from me. And I was like, okay, I respect that. And so I was very careful to never push for information too much from him because I didn't want to seem like I was trying to get information from him. So I was just always trying to encourage him to open up to me, but not seem like I want to know this information or else type of shit. Like, encouraging whenever he would open up about something. Or like he would play Red Dead, so I bought Red Dead so I could try to play with him. And it's just, I tried to find things, and it was like I was never quite enough. But that isn't on him because I'm pretty sure that's mostly because I am insecure. But he didn't. I told him this, and so if you choose to be with somebody and they've told you that this is one of their flaws or this is one of their weaknesses, I would either say, why stay with the person if you don't plan on trying to compromise on that flaw or work with them on that flaw, but in a positive way? Like, he took my jealousy and then just threw gas on it and then was like, why are you getting more upset? Kind of. That's what it felt like. Like, I am not saying I didn't cause my own fire. Like, I'm sure that, there's lots of things that if you're with someone who's a creator like that, you have to accept that there's going to be very sexual, expressively sexual females that are going to want to get a ego boost by flirting with somebody like that, and some men will respond to it, not even with the intention of ever being with that female, but just because it's a response. He wasn't bad all the time. I never said he was bad all the time. I'm just saying that this whole stupid teacher a lesson, fucking mental manipulation, winding me up, and then me being brand new to Discord, brand new to all of this stuff. And yeah, when I told him like I'd never been around all the drama stuff, and then he was like, oh look, she's lying because now she's around all this stuff. And I was like, I was around all that stuff because I'd never been around it, and I was trying to learn your world, so I went everywhere. You told me all these people that are this level in my Discord are all creators. They all have channels. You should go and check them out. Check out this thing because this blah blah blah. And that was it. That was all the introduction to his world. Besides that, I had to do it on my own and find out. Luckily I had a close friend who was like, okay, well here's a bunch of IBS, old IBS stuff, and you can learn about some of the characters, and then you can understand Suit's older videos better because you'll understand the jokes behind them or what the actual thing is referencing. And I was like, oh, thank you, friend. Wouldn't that have been nice to have been coming from the partner that I'm with? Like, but I didn't want to question him because at that point it was still new, and he had made a very big point about how he doesn't trust and everybody's always trying to get information, so I didn't want to feel like I was trying to dig for stuff to whatever. That's why I didn't ask for pictures. I didn't blah blah blah, all this. I didn't want that.
You rolled with it and you tried to make me look like a bad guy. And as you just saw, we gamed together. Red Dead Redemption, I bought that for you so we could game together. And here we've got Hypa making secret discords so she could invite certain people so that she could talk about others behind their backs. I didn't join. And this is
Oh,
just...
the fuck! I didn't know that's from my old Discord. Oh my god, Morningstar gave him that shit. That's from Morningstar. Good old, what a good doggy. Good job. Good lord, dude. See, that's what I mean. So, my private Discord was someone that I felt that was super trusted. And it was Morningstar. And for, that's a thing. But that's also to point out that's the kind of level that Lexi was. Lexi was that close with people too. And Lexi got invited to private Discords like that as well. And girls would just show like maybe people that didn't often show their face. But because they're in the Discord and they trust the person that owns it and that person trusts Lexi, well, it's okay. So all sorts of stuff is said and shown that maybe wouldn't get shown in public Discords or Discords that have boys in it. I didn't make my Agora for bitching about Lexi. That was not its sole purpose. But what it was somewhere that I could have the people that I liked from the community that I was in and feel safe about being able to share whatever I wanted to share. Because at that point, I didn't trust Lexi. And I knew that there were lots of Lexi, people on Lexi's team. On Retro's team. Because there was another Lexi in that server at that time. That's that Zell Oblex chick. Oof. That's another one that was accused of some not so good stuff recently. Suits on multiple streams talking to her sexy and shit. Because that's his character. His character is just flirtatious. Hypa. You need to accept that. It's just a character. It's not Suit. Suit doesn't feel those feelings. Suit isn't really attracted to those boobs that are sent to him. It's just the character. You need to accept these things. It's just the character that's going to another person's stream and telling her, anytime you pat that fanny, I'll come running. Yeah, it's just the character.
Now this is Hypa, jealous of Sims. My Sims 4, I had barmaids that apparently looked exactly like Lexi. At the time I didn't know what Lexi looked like, but apparently Hypa did, and Hypa was super jealous of my Sims 4 tunes. That's when alarm bells started.
That
ringing
picture,
for me.
okay, let's pause. This picture right here. So, let's talk about this picture right here. This picture right here is him fucking a ghost sim. Now, this picture right here comes from when he first got the game, which was gifted to him live during one of his streams. And he started playing, and he was pretty quiet for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden he came back. He's like, I've been playing this game since. And then he proceeded to, he's like, do you want to see? And I had never done a video call with him before. And he was just screen sharing it with me. So I didn't realize what I was looking at first. And what I was looking at was not the Lexi one, which Morningstar, you keep messing up that story. And so now Suit is retelling the story wrong, which makes him look silly, girl. Anyway, so the picture that I see first is a sim character with black hair and ponytails, And yes, girl, we know who you are. Black hair, ponytails, giving him a blowjob. And I'm like, oh. And I was in shock. It was pretty shocking. And I had to control my face because I was on screen, which was the first time I'd ever gone on video with him. So I thought that he would be excited to see me. But he wasn't even looking at me, I found out. So I was just like, oh, cool, what is this? And then he just showed me the rest of the little house that he was building and the whole street that he had built. And he's like, I made a character for every house. And I was like, oh, okay. And some of the characters kind of resembled some people, but I was new to the community, so I was like, you fucking crazy hype. So I didn't really pay attention. And then he was talking to his Discord about this game and how he was impregnating all the females on the block and then his sim was going to get married. And then he was showing me pictures of him fucking a blonde sim. And I was like, are you ever going to make one that's me? And he's like, oh yeah, I will. I haven't. These are just all templates or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then he sent me that picture of the ghost, him fucking the ghost. And I was like, oh, cool, Lexi's dead. And I hadn't referred to the blonde as Lexi yet. But when I was first watching, God, it's because it's fucking burned into my head. The fucking sim with black hair and ponytails, sucking the cock, and then up in the corner, one of the little notifications, which at that time I didn't understand anything in Sims. So I didn't realize that it was just a character that he had created, and so the game is notifying him what that character is doing. I thought that, what if there's like messaging? Because up in the corner it said Lexi, and it was the blonde. And I was like, the fuck? And then that's when my heart dropped, because I was like trying to take the dick sucking thing in stride, like, okay, maybe he's trying to, like, I don't know, build a thicker skin on me or some shit. But then I saw that, and it made everything after that just like feel gross. And then it was just like he hyper just he enjoyed the tension, I think, from it. Because I would just get irritated, because that's all that we would do. It would just be, I liked watching him build the houses, but I didn't need to see the fucking characters all the time. And the Sims fucking thing is a mod you have to get, which means he got that game and immediately got all the mods he could that he wanted, and the sex one was one of the first mods that he got. It's just like, that's how sex obsessed he is, and I'm sitting here just trying to fucking be sexy for him, and I get an emoji maybe on the fucking pictures that I would send him. It's like he had no fucking interest. Like, yeah, he did. There was one of the last times that he did his modules while he was talking, which I think he was just didn't really want to. I really feel like the calls towards the end, he just felt like we're a chore. And so he was working on one of the modules, and I was like, hey, he's like, well, I'm working on my module. I was like, well, can we video call while you do it? And he's like, yeah, sure. So then he's like video calling with me because he finally got a cam so he can video call, which is something that Ferret had tried to encourage him to do. He was taking pictures, like when he would go out and about, because he knows that I like gardening, and so Suit would take pictures of really pretty yards or pretty gardens in town and stuff like that. He tried to open up and did open up in little ways, and I got to I love his dad. I really do. And that's one of the reasons why it hurts when I keep seeing that people say it was me because I don't care how pissed I am at someone. I'm not gonna endanger them in any way. Like, I fucking hate Robert. I hate Lexi. I hate that person for the shady behavior, for the slimy actions, but I 100% would never want someone to hurt that person. I would never want someone to do something that would make Robert's IRL be bad. I would be, if I heard, like, dude, I don't condone that shit. That's just, I don't care. I don't care what you've done. There's just no reason for it. It hurts that he would think that I would endanger his family. It hurts that he thinks that I would be so blasé with, like, I don't like you, Suit. You're a dick. But that doesn't mean that your family deserves any kind of strife in their life for it, or fear in their life. That's fucking petty. That's not what I would do. And again, I repeat, I had your dick pics. Why would I not just fucking put that and plaster that everywhere? And because I've got her nudes. Fuck it. Share them. Do it. Oh well. Like, you've already, like, drug me through the dirt and been humiliated because it got replaced by a dude that wasn't even a female. Like, I'm called evil when I'm not. I'm accused of doing something that I didn't do. Accusing me of being with ear juice. Because that's the easiest solution. Because couldn't be your fault, right? Couldn't be your fault. There was no evidence for it besides what? Because he checked you on something? So that must mean that he's, what, fucking me? No. Because by that standard, you're then fucking every person that you have stood up for or maybe corrected someone else's behavior for.
Now remember, this was such a toxic relationship according to Hypa. That's how she sells it to people, and she told Ear Juice about how bad it was. It was so bad that she was planning to
Where
come
is that?
to Australia.
Where is that? Show me the DMs. Come on, Suit. Where is it that I was just blathering on to multiple people about how horrible of a man you were? I may have complained about Lexi. I may have complained about the situation. But did I go to so many people? And where is the proof of that? And if you're going to try and cite my private Discord that I had my trusted people on, that's not blathering to a bunch of people. Those were people that I had in there that were also part of your community and so could at any time, tell you, which I was aware of, which was what I was fine with as well. I also invited you to my Discord, but you didn't go to private Discords is what you said. Maybe if I had had an OnlyFans, maybe then you would have come. Maybe that would have been appealing enough for you to come to my private Discord, my boyfriend. It's fucking embarrassing.
To live with me, and we're looking at quarantine exemptions and stuff like that. That's how bad it was. Come on, Ear Juice, admit it, you were wrong. Her story doesn't line up with the truth. Fucking muppet. Ironically, Lexi
What
was
truth?
actually...
What truth? Your truth? Your truth, Suit. It's not a truth. This is your truth because you say that I'm going around, I'm doing this. You say it. And all these people that have no idea who I am, which is just the same thing as when you dox me, which you did dox me, and your fucking excuse, when you were on YouTube, you had your first and last name. Yeah, because I was a retard because, like I told you, I wasn't part of the YouTube community, the drama community, all of that shit that you've been part of, the IBS. I was brand fucking new to all of this shit. And I told you that. And then you suggested, maybe you should change it. And I was like, yeah, I should. And who else said that? Tommy said that. And Muggs. And I did it within like, what, a week and a half? 2 weeks? So, really the only people that knew my name, my first and last name, for sure, were those three for sure. And then maybe some people, maybe some of the girls that were in there that just kind of like pay really close attention to whoever's around you, maybe noticed, but I didn't speak too much in your live chats. And when I joined Discord, I didn't use my first and last name. I had Hypa. That's what I came in as. So when I joined Discord and your Discord community, they didn't know me as my first and last name. They knew me as Hypa. Nobody called me by my first and last name in your Discord. And so, in your Discord, I'm known as Hypa. And then you break up with me. And that by that time in Discord, there's a lot of new faces. And the people that knew me when I first joined, or that were around when I first joined, there weren't that many that were super active in your Discord. It was like kind of a whole bunch of new people-ish. But there was a bunch of regulars too. So, I break up with you. Or you break up with me, I'm sorry. You break up with me. We break up. It's done. I'm not gonna Patreon you. So I cancel my Patreon to you. And what do? You screenshot it. And then, which has my first and last name on there. And you share it in your general chat of Discord, where you have all your little people and all those questionable people too at that time. Don't forget. So you, and then said, okay, Hypa. And then, so what you did was now, because I had left, everybody knew Mrs. Suit is Hypa. You showed this name, first and last name, are Hypa. And we all know that you don't encourage people to go out and do stuff. You make that very clear. Wink, wink, touch side of nose. Right, Suit? Because that's how you do. So you just put that out there. And how long did it stay up for? 6 motherfucking months. Until, what, in January, when I brought it up to you, one of our last times talking, and you were like, what? What? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's erased now. I erased it after months of letting it sit there. Now, no offense to the Hejaz Discord, but like, it's not like it was a super, super active server. It was just a place where people would come together whenever the Hejaz stuff would start. And I never saw doxing. Were there people in there that were accused of it? Yeah. But it wasn't something that was like, oh man, today's the day, guys. We need a new one. Who's next? Type of shit. Like there was I never saw shit like that. Which means that Suit never saw anything, or any of his people that were in there trying to take those screenshots to show how terrible people were in there. And if you want to do that, Suit, then how many times has there been shitty stuff said in your Discord that you guys and your mods have had to mop up? And rightly so. You're supposed to do that when the wrong thing is done or when a rule is broken. But shit still gets said because, right? Because trolls come in, do all that stuff. Because you may have like a 6 fucking step plan to get into your Discord now, but back then you didn't have that. It was the screenshot of my cancellation, and it had my first and last name. So, yeah, it doesn't have like my address or anything, but it has my first and last name. My first name is not a common name. And I spoke a lot about where I live because I trusted Suit and the people, and I was stupid and naive, and obviously because I was new to everything. So it wouldn't be hard to just piece together where I'm from or how to find me very, very easily. There's only so many people with my name in this state. Suit likes to have
whatever is going to scare somebody. So if somebody is scared of having their identity released, then that's what he's going to use against that person. The Mark Davies person, he tried helping him and tried, I mean, he does that for a lot of creators that are smaller than him. This is why people say he's a good guy, because he goes around and kind of gives a leg up to people, gives them a platform to be able to speak, or puts them in touch with somebody that, maybe could help them further their YouTube project or whatever. But you can't question suit. You just can't. Or if you do, you must do it in private so that he is able to then turn the narrative how he wants if the argument doesn't end the way he wants it to, which is what it happened. He didn't want to be with me. He didn't want to be with me towards the end. And what he wanted was for me to break up with him, for me to throw the big fit over Lexi and all this other shit. And I didn't throw that fit. And after the fucking meme war, I fucking just shut my mouth. That was another reason why I had my fucking Discord, because I needed a place that I'd be able to just send a rolling eye emoji without having to think that someone's going to go crying to Sue or go crying to one of her other little friends.
In one of Hypa's secret discords to talk shit about people, but then there was a secret Discord. It's just, oh my god, really back to The Sims, which I actually bought her a copy too, so that we could do something together. Bad relationship, bad person I am, but back to The Sims, she actually cried because my sim is going around screwing the barmaids that look like Lexi with the Sims Wicked sex mod. Are you kidding? Okay, so I ended up deleting.
And yes, okay, because he bought me The Sims. I knew that you can control your sim and whether it fucks somebody or not. You didn't have to have all of those fucking female servants in there. Like, dude, it was insane. And he was doing it purposely because he knew it aggravated me. And that's what was making me feel grosser and grosser. Like, I thought it was like, okay, why is this person trolling me? That's what it felt like. I felt like I was getting trolled. That whole month of August, halfway through July and August. It was just, I felt like I was getting trolled and laughed at. No, I don't even know what the fuck that's talking about. Like, I remember I had a Discord whenever I had first joined, because I just wanted to have like a little place that I could have like Cat and Mugs, and I think Lexi was even there for a little bit too. Or Cat started it because I said I wanted to start one, and so she started one. And then Suit didn't want to join that. And then I was like, oh, okay. But then I started another one. I said, hey, I'm starting a Discord, because I left that one that Cat had started. And then I started my Agora, and I had asked Suit if he wanted to join. He said, nope, he didn't want to join. So, okay. And that's it. That was the only one.
From my drive. It's like, you're fucking kidding me. It's a game. That's how jealous of Retro Lexi she was and still is. Now this next part just is a snippet of a secret Discord where Stacey was invited to, and I wasn't in there, but other people I knew were. So my whole point or threat or bait of I'll destroy Stacey
Morning Star.
As well.
Because even though Vomit was in there too, I don't think that Vomit would have screenshot, but maybe he would have. But yeah, I bet it was Morningstar.
trolls, and to let Stacey and Hyper know that I do have logs of your bullshit in other Discords. Just stop your bullshit. Move on. I'm over both of you. Both of you are blocked. Fuck off out of my life. But no, we're going through this shit now. Bravo. And circling back to the very beginning, which Cog and I called, but we didn't call it publicly. We just sat back and watched. We knew exactly what Edges was going to do, and he did exactly what we thought he would. I mean, when someone can take something like that and twist it out of context to try to make you look bad, you know that that person is not a good person to be with or be around. But Hyper also twists shit and lies. So, Hyper, like I've said in the other Simp Juice videos, you're in good.
I twist it. Okay. I twist it. How? How do I twist it? Because I said I didn't like the way that Lexi behaved and how flirtatious it was. And you told me to just deal with it? Oh my God, I'm not teamed up with Ear Juice. I'm not teamed up. Who's on my team? Nobody's on my fucking... There's no team Hypa. There's no fucking team Hypa. The majority of people don't like me. Like, the fuck, dude? Like, you go around, where do you see people saying they like Hypa? Nowhere. Like, you need to fucking get over it. There's no team Hypa. Nobody was on my side. If somebody called you out on something, it's because your fucking behavior needed to get called out, not because of the person that you were doing it to. It was the behavior that you were doing it. Fucking A, man. Your Juice needed to stick up for Suit and kick Hypa out. That's what Suit wanted. Suit didn't want Hypa to have a wrench. Suit didn't want Hypa to be said hi to or listened to. Because Hypa was what? Where was Hypa in Discord saying shit about Suit? Where? Besides her private Discord. So where public was Hypa crying? Oh, nowhere. It's just your little puppies that you have to run around, right? Sniff out all those little snippets and screenshots for you so that you can try and piece together. You and Bells. Ugh, fucking retard. I think Suit is paranoid because he knows that he behaves in a way. And so he thinks everybody else does the same kind of behavior. He also doesn't want people to know that he behaves in a certain way, because then that would shatter an image that he's trying to project to everybody. That's why he makes sure that anybody that wrongs him has to publicly apologize, and when they come back in the community, they got to sit there and fucking get mocked for it. And I mean, Righty has done it. I mean, Righty shouldn't have, but fucking Righty has been fucking having to put up with that kind of shit. Righty fucks up. Righty gets caught up in whatever and says a bunch of shit, defends people, and then has to backtrack. And Suit enjoys seeing him grovel. Not grovel because Righty doesn't really care. He really doesn't. Like, he's like, all right, fine, you need that? Okay. But that's the gross shit. It's like, why does Suit need these people to grovel for him? Grovel, 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 grovel. As long as he has all the people that give him information, because Suit clearly can't do his own research, but depends on everybody telling him things, which is why he gets stuff wrong a lot. Like, that was the Hypa on Twitter. No, it wasn't. Whole fucking video about how it was her way of speaking and burr, 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 burr. The fuck? Stupid.
4. How much more simping do you want to do? Do you see that you've probably been lied to or misled? Not yet? Okay.
And I wonder if he has been. I wonder if he has, because that's what Sork thinks. Sork thinks that he was misled, that I just cried and cried and cried. But what does that sound like? That sounds like a suit narrative. Sork is a empathetic person, and so no doubt has empathized and understood other people's sides. But I think that his turnaround was pretty weird and weirdly timed. The accusation that I supposedly had 5 men. Step up, boys. Who was it? Who got my tits? All 5 of you. Step up. Because there aren't. Because that's just somebody trying to be a fucking jealous cunt? Oh. Ain't Hypa though.
Do you want me to embarrass you? And Hyper, you should probably just own your shit and move on. But that's entirely up to you.
I've been trying to. Oh my god, I've been trying. Dude, I have been doing nothing but trying to move the fuck on. You're the one that keeps bringing me up. You're the one that keeps fucking whining about me in DMs to people. Good fucking Christ. And I'm making videos about ear juice over and over because supposedly someone listened. There wasn't even any list. Oh my god, dude. You in someone's DM was the whole reason that you got told in public to stop coming into DMs. So where in that fucking where in that is me? It's not. There's no me in there. It's just you being annoying. Fucking annoying. Yes. Paranoid that what? That people might think badly about you. Like they already do. Like people already think badly about you. But that's just the way fucking life goes, right? You have a plethora of people around you who think good things about you. Did you think that everybody's not going to think bad about you? Or do you think that everybody that's saying quote unquote bad things about you are really saying bad things? Because if Hypa is supposed to learn that lesson of don't be jealous, Hypa, right? You need to learn a lesson. Well, so Suit, do you need to learn a lesson that not everything that people are fucking ribbing you for is something you need to flip out about? Every time.
Hey, welcome back. Guess what? It's true. I was catfished. Oof. I couldn't believe it, so I owe Simp Juice a debt of gratitude. You see, he's done me a solid, he and his crew, finding out that Lexi, who has been a supporter of mine for 6 years, and everybody thought Lexi was a chick, and I've only been romantically involved with her for 2 months? No nudes were shared. Just getting to know someone you think is real. Have no reason to doubt. But thank you, Ear Juice. I can only imagine if I was getting catfished for 13 months. Imagine that over a year being romantically involved with someone you think you know. That'd be terrible.
No.
So I feel it's my duty
I'm gonna speak on this shit. This fucking asshole to sit there and Mandy did nothing. Nothing. There was absolutely zero reason for you to attack an innocent. Not that she was innocent. I'm not saying that Mandy wasn't sassy and didn't do sassy shit. But she didn't do anything to you. And you're just so specific. You even have said, within my own server, there are people that don't like each other. And they just have to deal with it because that person has never done anything to me. So I can't be mad at that person even if you are. Okay, so then by your own fucking standards, Why would you fucking attack Mandy? And continue to. And if she is not dead, that means that she doesn't want to be around, but you're going to still bring her up? You're still going to fucking drag her through? You're still going to fucking bring her, and the fact, okay, and that's if she's not dead. She's gone. And you're dragging and speaking ill about a woman that did have an illness. And we're all supposed to empathize with you and you trying to overcome your handicaps that, you know, in restrict your ability to do more. So you're gonna sit there and bash on someone for photos that were taken while they were in hospice, which, by the way, you can be in hospice and get taken off of hospice. You can graduate from hospice. Hospice is there for someone when they are so ill that they are not able to care for themselves. And then when you get better, you get to get off of it, because then you don't have that specific person coming and doing specific things for you, and you don't have the specific pain meds that are available to a hospice patient to make sure that their life is kept comfortable. In the hope that they get better, but if they don't get better, at least they were kept comfortable, right? Okay. But no, it's okay for you to take pictures from that time period and rip this woman apart who did nothing to you besides be the girlfriend of somebody that you think was simping, that you think had to listen to Hypa say a bunch of stuff to you. You have no proof. You have no proof that Hypa said anything. All you have is that your juice corrected you on some shit and then asked you to stop. Like, so you attack his girlfriend because that's okay? And you go on and on about how you got honor and you're a good man. And you're dragging through the mud a woman that did nothing to you. Which, again, I repeat, by your standards that you tell people in your server when they have fights with people in the server, that person didn't do anything to me, so they're okay in my book. So then why the fuck would you turn around? Is that an honorable man's behavior? No. It's a very insecure man. It's a man that's paranoid of being mocked for believing a person was a woman when they weren't. For being in a relationship for 2 months and never being on a call with that person. For being in a relationship for 2 months and having to have your own Discord beg Retro publicly to go on a call. He just needs to hear your voice. Hi. Hey guys. Because no, the whole age cap is because you had to find something that you could quote unquote give as the equal amount of humiliation, or what you think of as humiliation, to Ear Juice. Ear Juice gave you a humiliating blow by exposing to the world that Robert was Robert. It wasn't even Ear Juice to begin with. My God, there was already whispers about this shit when you first got with fucking Retro. I remember, and I stuck up for Retro. I was like, listen, no. I mean, there was doubts that Retro was female because of some, I don't know, I wasn't around the behavior that was talked about, so I can't say whether it was even true. So, but there was definitely doubts. And I remember Tommy saying to me that there was something shady about Retro. I remember how hurt Falcon was by the fact that Retro wouldn't like open up normally the way the flirtation that Retro would present and dick tease men with would lead him to believe. Falcon did have a crush on Retro, but Falcon's a strong person, and so didn't let it affect him as bad as it could have. But that's some fucked up shit, dude. Like, I felt bad about Falcon. And then what? You feel bad about Suit too? So then who else have you felt bad about? How many other men have you done this to in the past 6 years? That you just feel bad that they misunderstood. Now, as a female, I 100% can understand that. Because I just explained how I was just thought I was just being friends and friendly with Sork, but then he obviously started liking me, and I had to have that conversation with him. So I understand that it can happen, but damn, girl, I was only in Suit's community for how long and how many dudes? And I saw you flirt with so many, always answering back with the flirtatious shit. And I think sometimes that you were doing it to fucking see if Suit would react. I mean, I have Mandy's number. When I found out that she was gone, I made sure I knew that she couldn't see it. But I texted her one last time, just saying how I wished it wasn't true, and that the world's a fucking darker place without her. And it kills me that I didn't get to address the bullshit that Suit or whoever it was started, trying to say that EJ wasn't loyal to Mandy, and he fucking was. I don't understand how anybody could have seen how those two were together and think that anybody, let alone me, could even come close to damaging that. Like, that's so fucking retarded. Like, why would you hurt her like that? This is fucking, there's just no reason. Because your fucking feelings are hurt because I'm not apologizing for something I didn't even fucking do. You're fucking low. You're so fucking low. She did nothing to you. She did fucking nothing to you. But Suit, oh, sometimes Suit's temper just gets the better of him. The whole Faith thing, he had mentioned Faith before in passing. And then when the sex tape came out, he immediately had that. And then when he asked me if I wanted to see it, and I said, gross, why would I want to? He was like, oh, well, I mean, it's kind of funny. And I was like, yeah, but wasn't that girl in your server? And he just like laughed. But it was like, it made me think of all the times that his quote unquote character would agree with how nice someone's tits were or whatever. Like, I understand that there's a level of casual conversation, like bar talk, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't want to talk like I'm in a bar and drunk all the time. I don't want to, I don't know. Like, it just seemed like he always wants, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like my my own hurts definitely come through, and so I read things with a certain tint, my own bias attached to them. But so some things that may be like a level 3 to some people are like a level 8 of grossness, because it feels grosser to me because I know A, B, and C or something. And so to me, it's just like, this was someone that you knew underage, and now we're watching them get fucked and keeping it. Just like he showed me, he's like, do you want to see uh, something that one of my, I can't remember if he said one of my past or someone that was already there, but he said one of my people in my community sent me this. This is her getting fucked by her husband. And I was like, no, I don't really want to see someone's vagina that's around. And he was like, okay, well, you can just listen. And I was like, okay. And then he was like describing to me what was happening. And now it's going in her ass and all this other shit. I was just happy that he was like fucking talking sexy with me, because it was just so rare for him to do that. But then it was just like creepy to me, because then I'm like, wait, so you have a sex tape of one of your people. This isn't just like porn of some random woman. This is a woman that you have conversations with and treat like a quote unquote friend, but you're gonna see her vagina all the time. Like, how do you separate these things? How do you keep them separate? And then that's where he and I would start getting in arguments, because it would get to that kind of level of a conversation. And of course, I know I'm abrasive, and I know that I talk back, and I have a fucking horrible mouth. But like, I'm not gonna just fucking be a cow and go, okay. Like, if you want a fucking cow, fucking get with a girl that's a cow and stupid. It's just gonna go, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Or someone that has the same style of sexual appetite as you, that is able to look at some of, that'd be like if I was a creator and I had a bunch of people in my community and told to, hey, one of my guy members sent me him fucking his wife. Do you want to watch it with me? And him knowing that I have conversations on a daily with this person. And so I don't know that he would be okay with that. And if he is okay with that, that's not the kind of relationship that I want to be in. And it's okay for him to want to be in that kind of relationship, but I made very clear I didn't want to be in a relationship like that. I can't remember if it was like maybe a past member or a current one. I honestly don't really remember exactly. I was just kind of like, because then in my head, I'm like, okay, so then he obviously does look at the girl that has her OnlyFans and was putting up the pictures of her sucking on a dildo and has her tits hanging out and all this other stuff. And then he had shown me, we were talking, like, getting, no, we were talking, and then he was like, oh, you could twist your nipples up like this, and sent me this picture of this girl's boobs who had like coiled her nipples so that her nipples were super extended, you know? And I was like, oh, poor witchy things. And he was like, that's not witchy. And I was like, yes, it is. And he was like, oh, well, I don't know. It's just some picture I had saved. And I was like, I knew it was witchy because I recognized the haircut, because the haircut was a new haircut that she had gotten a couple months before, and everybody was raving about it because she had braids in before. She's a black chick. And so she had cut it kind of like collarbone, a little past collarbone, and it was like the natural black but straightened. And it was really pretty and very shiny. And you could just see the tail end of it in the picture because the face was cut out of this picture, but it was her skin tone, and then the wall behind it, the color of it, I remember complimenting her on some of her pictures because the way that the color of that wall is complemented her skin tone. Wasn't paying. He just gets it all the time, and he would say, it's not my fault if they send me things. But you're in other servers and other places and encouraging this behavior, and then they come over here and then everybody laughs at me because I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Why is this girl extra flirty with you? And she doesn't know any better because she came from another place, assuming based on the behavior that you gave her in another place that it's okay to behave like this to you. And I know I sound like a crazy cunt, and I know it sounds controlling, and I don't want to be that. And I need to learn to tolerate the fact that there's going to be flirtatious behavior. And it's about the level of trust and bonding that I build with my partner, and also realizing that I need to be trusting of him. But I started out trusting him, and then it was just all those little tiny little things that built up with Lexi, with other girls. It was just annoying. And I'm crazy. I'm crazy for it. I'm not saying that I was always correct, but I wasn't always wrong. There were some times where it was just fucking ridiculous. Like, there's just no point to it. I was stupid. What I should have done is I should have recognized it for what it was and just gracefully bowed out even before my birthday. I wish that it sounded better and more, because he'll just pause it every 3 seconds and just rip it apart, and it won't make any sense because that's what he does. That's part of the reason that he's able to build the narratives that he does for his community, because he sits and pauses every 3 seconds so that even if a person has a cohesive statement of 3 sentences, it takes 45 minutes to get through those 3 sentences. And in that 45 minutes, he's gone off on 6 tangents and built up 3 other different things to add on to the story. He sits there and just fucking dog piles and uses his people or uses other creators to mock on the person. It's part of the benefit of having his little web of females. So those females are everywhere. So then they can then be friends with all the females in other communities. And then they're like, oh no, it's really this. If Suit has enemies, it's because he doesn't think about what he's saying, or he doesn't think that people are paying attention. He doesn't think that anyone's going to sit there and try and put 2 and 2 together, or sit there and go, hey, why did you say the left hand right here, but then in this other stream you say the right hand? Trying to give simple explanations or whatever. I think it's bullshit how he keeps fucking dragging Mandy. I think it's bullshit how he keeps saying that he just blames everybody else. Like the whole Righty thing. How is it Righty's fault? Righty had nothing to do with it. Anything that Righty was sending me was after you had already broken up with me. So are you trying to say that in your head you were still with me, even though you were broken up with me, even though you were flirting madly with all the females around you, that you had Britt saying how she would be with you and all this other stuff? You have all your little girls making sure that your ego's stroked and that you feel good about yourself. But yet in your head you were somehow still with me. So then the stuff that Righty was saying, or not even saying, the stuff that I was seeing you say, which you quote unquote were once again setting me up for, like, just it was all another lesson. People, or he's been, like Mormon has said, too long in his hug box, and he just doesn't get that there's going to be people that are going to question him. He says that he wants constructive criticism, and yet when people say a truth to him, it's somehow attacking him. The same thing that he does to people. And Bells has enabled it because he did some horrible things, horrible stuff. Now, granted, Bells has let herself stay on the internet, stay on here and keep going. So she, all you got to do is just leave. And same, I'm not complaining about the fact that I know there's going to be people that hate me just because I cause trouble just by being and breathing. But that doesn't mean that I have to leave. And that doesn't mean that I can't defend myself. Bells can defend herself too. But then you're going to sit there and say it's okay what Suit said to you. It's okay all the garbage that he said, all the many streams of mocking you. It's okay. And yet you're going to sit there and talk about another community, Hijas, and how terrible they were. Like, dang, lady. Like, show me the fucking hours and hours and hours of streams equal to what Suit did on you that he just has done on one person, one singular person. Because Suit focused in on you for months, right? But it's all okay because you read his tarot card. And you helped him discover the truth. Okay, I'm done.